Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Harley Quinn, issue number 61. I like this comic book. In fact, I almost really liked it. I'm like right on the hairy cusp of liking it. Yes, apparently the cusp is very hairy. Look at me. Look at me. Anyway, I'm going to get into certain problems I had with the comic book. But first, we're going to talk about who made the comic book. But we're also going to talk about all the things I did like about it also. Anyway, this issue is called Role Players Part 1. It is a part 1 of a thing, but it's also part of the Trials of Harley Quinn. Therefore, this is not really a jumping on point. While you may understand this issue, you will not understand what's going on overall. Anyway, the writer is Sam Humphries. Artist is Otto Schmidt. Dave Sharp does the letters. Guilhem March and Arif Prianto do the cover, and the variant covers by Frank Cho and Sabine Rich. So Harley, Tina, and Selina, I love that rhymes. Those three are at Selina's apartment. And Catwoman is, like, this is actually really cool that it's all in continuity. We're using Catwoman's Joelle Jones costume with the armpits exposed, which makes a lot of sense. I'm just saying. What do you call it? Yeah, but this is actually really cool. I like that they're doing that. Plus, there's also the commentary on, oh, hey, we're just here to try and help you out because you're having man troubles, bat troubles, whatever. That was cool. So it's all in continuity. It's like, she's on the break with Batman, and it's showing, and they came over to try and help her out. The problem is they're helping out in their own ways. They're both playing a version of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. I feel, and this is one of the problems that I have with the book. We were doing the Trials of Harley Quinn, and we just kept going with that. And there was literally only a single mention of it in the book that I noticed. And it was just not even a reference point. It was just kind of like, hey, by the way, this is going on in another story arc in this comic book, but not in this issue. Here, it's just like we're kind of jumping on the idea of, oh, a lot of people are doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing. Let's combine gaming and comic books. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are doing that. It doesn't mean that Harley Quinn has to do this. Look, this feels like a reactionary comic book at this point. All right? With Champions doing this, with Roland Told, with Die, with all of these, is it unethical to pick up girls in a dungeon? There's a lot of different comic books out right now with Dungeons and Dragons, including Dungeons and Dragons. And with all due respect, Jim Zub is 100% leading that charge. I mean, a lot of other people can come in and work out some awesome magic also. But it's like, he rolled the high percentiles, all right? Just Zub's kind of got the market practically cornered in this regard. Humphreys did not do a bad job on this comic book at all. And I absolutely love the freaking art. This should be a great comic book. But with this issue, I'm starting to finally understand my own take on this comic book. It is extremely reactionary. Oh, hey, Deadpool is really funny, and he does this certain brand of humor. Let's make Harley Quinn do that too. Oh, hey, they're doing Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Let's do that too. And I just, there's a couple examples there, and it's just going to be demeaning if I keep on pointing them out. Those are the two big ones. If you start looking, because when I noticed that, I'm like, oh crap, and I started looking at all the other similarities. Anyway, this is one of the reasons why I don't like to look at other people's comic book channels. I just don't like to do that, because then sometimes I will take on a certain aspect of what they're doing. It'll influence what I do. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, I know his name. We follow each other on Twitter. He seems like a pretty damn cool guy. Canadian. Oh, crying out loud. Joel, Cape Joel. Ha-ha! Caped Joel. Seems like a cool guy, He says at the end of his comic book reviews, or the beginning, he says at some point or multiple times in the comic book reviews, shall we? And I watched, I think, two of his, this was 2 months ago. I watched two of his comic book reviews. I'm like, oh, nice, this guy's really good. This guy's on the game, a lot of followers, a lot of reviews, really good stuff. But that, shall we? It just, I don't know what it was. But then, like, a couple of times over the past month or so, I have said, hey, let's get into who made the book, shall we? And it's like, oh my God. As soon as I said it, I like paused. I'm like, crap, I'm not going to redo this, but I can't believe I just freaking copied this guy. You know what I'm saying? 2 stupid words doesn't count as plagiarism. It's got to be like 3 words in a row or more. But still, like, I don't like the influence, which is why I don't watch other people's stuff. And I feel that this comic book is, let's read all the other comic books that work and let's copy what they're doing. And that's a shame. That's such a shame. This comic book should be able to stand on its own. It's Harley Quinn. She's a very popular character. More than that, I get the idea you want to do a Magic the Gathering Dungeons & Dragons comic. This was a really good comic book, but if it didn't feel like it was just copying other comic books or what they're doing in general, the spirit of what they're doing, this would have come off so much better. What was wrong with just continuing the trials of Harley Quinn? Again, this was a fantastic comic book. Can't argue it. Harry Cusp. All right. There was a lot of fun. There was a couple of laugh out loud moments. The one part where she goes, I'm Harley Quinn. She should have said something like first of her name, but then she's like, and quick to castrate. She says that, quick to castrate, and I was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. But like Hugo Strange is in this comic book, and it's just done so well. It's done so well. And it would have been a much better comic book if the exact comic book would have come out 2 months from now or so. Give it time. Give it time. You know what I'm saying? Just give it some space. This Dungeons & Dragons fad, I'd be impressed if it maintained, the lane. I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to last for too much longer. I think it's going to be fairly sparse. It's already starting to die down, I feel. But yeah, this feels like Johnny Come Lately trying to fit in with the in crowd. And it's like, no, you've got Harley Quinn. She should be paving the way, not following some other person's path. Anyway, guys, again, good issue. But what the hell happened to the Trials of Harley Quinn? I was really into that. All right, guys, I'm done. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.